Corporal Destiny Silva with the Austin Police Department Public Information Office, and at approximately 3:14 p.m. today, officers responded to 11700 Metric Boulevard for a call for service titled Shoot, Stab, Hot Shot. Officers arrived on scene and located an adult female with obvious signs of trauma to her body. The female was pronounced deceased. As officers were investigating this incident, at approximately 3:25 p.m., Austin 911 Communications received a call for service titled Check Welfare Urgent at West Palmer Lane and North IH-35 Service Road northbound for a subject standing on a bridge. Officers responded to this location and were able to safely make contact with the subject described. It was a male subject, and based on the preliminary information obtained and through the course of the investigation, it was determined that this male subject may be involved with the suspicious death investigation that occurred at 11700 Metric Boulevard. It appears to be an isolated incident at this time. We do have homicide detectives. They are on scene. They are investigating. We do appreciate the community's patience as we work to investigate and obtain and gather facts so we can determine what happened here today. We are asking if you have any information to please contact the homicide tip line at 512-974-TIPS. And this is Austin's 16th homicide so far this year. Any questions? Yes.
Do you know if this was a domestic violence case?
Right now, it's so early on, we aren't leaving out anything. It's possible. We're exploring like all options, and that's why our detectives are out here on scene. They're working so hard so that we can find out what occurred here and if that was in fact a factor, but I'm not able to confirm if that was the case at this time.
The relationship between the two still hasn't been identified?
That's correct. We're still determining what, if any, his involvement may be with this suspicious death that occurred here today. Of course, any type of violent crime, when it occurs, we take it very seriously. So we have obviously you can see our patrol officers out here and our homicide investigators, and we're working right now just to gather the facts so we can find out what happened here today.
So can you specify on the type of wounds the body was?
Right now, we do have that type of information, but in order to maintain the integrity of the case, we're not going to release those details. But she was found with obvious signs of trauma to her body.
Was there any life-saving procedures initiated, or was it just?
I don't have any information if life-saving measures were applied. I can tell you in most scenarios where it is an option, our officers are trained to do that, and we do so. We do our best to hopefully not end up with these types of outcomes, but when they do occur, we work really hard to hopefully solve this case so we can figure out what happened here today.
And do officers believe that there's any danger to the public right now?
Right now, based on preliminary information, it's still very early on. We believe this is going to be an isolated incident. So I don't have further details or suspect descriptions or anything to put out at this time. But of course, if that changes, because sometimes as investigations go on, we obtain more information, we will provide that information.
I was going to ask, can you say the approximate age of the victim and the race?
We do have that information, but again, right now, because it's early on, we can't release those investigative details. But of course, as we're able to release it and provide it, we will. We'll put that information out to the community.
And do you please believe that there are any other persons of interest involved at this point in this?
I don't have any further suspect descriptions to provide at this time. Again, if it's still really early on, so if that becomes available, we will put that information out. And again, we really appreciate your patience. These investigations take time, and we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we gather all the relevant information so that, again, we can determine what occurred here today.
I believe there was a mention of a suspect in custody who was found on a bridge.
Right now, there's no one necessarily in custody. We did respond to that other call for service, which was titled Check Welfare Urgent. And based on the information obtained in response to that call, we believe that that male might be involved. But at this time, it's so early on, we're not able to say, if we have someone in custody or we've made an arrest or anything at that point in time. We're just really trying to find out what happened. And that's why it's so important that we get this information out to the community, and that if you do have any information, that you call that homicide tip line. The more information the detectives have, the better.
or any weapons found or recovered from the scene?
Again, we do have those investigative details, but I'm limited on what I'm able to provide today because it's so early on and it's really important that we maintain the integrity of the case. Anything else? Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.